Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all my members, all my subscribers, all the patrons. Thank you for all. We're almost there guys, 13,500 subscribers. Make sure to subscribe. We're trying to hit 15,000 until the end of the year. It is really hard, but it was kind of a big goal anyway. I will be doing another one of these goals on the 15k. And then I will probably show my face if we do hit that next year. But the thing is, I will be doing special videos and stuff at the beginning of the year, you know, for the 10k, the 15k. So make sure to subscribe for that. And let's get into it. So today we are going to basically rate all the patches of the year, kind of a retrospective of all the patches that have been added. We have the Wind of Change in March. Then the Danger Zone one in May, I think, in June. The Drone Age in September. The Fire and Ice in October. And the Apex Predator in December. So let's rate all the 5 patches that we had. And yeah, it's my opinion, okay guys? So yeah, it's my opinion. Just understand that, please. And of course there are some things that you will disagree, because maybe a nation that you fight didn't get something or got too much stuff from the others. I don't know, something like that, but still. So let's start with the Wind of Change. So it was the first patch of the year, you know. It was a very like foot on the door kind of patch due to the A10. I think it was amazing that A10 was added, but it also was a curse because then we had the major problems that we still are facing in that kind of range of 10.0 of BR compression, right? AIM-9Ls at the BR is just not very fun. But overall, this was one of the only things that were bad in this patch. Everything else was pretty amazing, actually. Germany got the MiG-23 MLA that it needed. I mean, it was just needed. MiG-21S was added for the Soviets, a pretty good aircraft for... I mean, the cockpit was updated, the MiG-21S was already there, so don't mind me by that. The J8 was added, which was needed, even though we needed a little bit more, but still it was very fun. F-104S ASA, finally to Italy, also helped Italy be a little bit better. The Mirage F1C, man, the Mirage was a long awaited aircraft that needed to be added for a long time, even though it was kind of lacking. Still, the Mirage F1 was a very good. The LAV AD, always good to have more AA systems like that. The Puma was kind of a controversial one. The T-55 AMD with its APS, right? The APS was added this patch. A lot of Chinese stuff as well. So yeah, and especially a lot of Israeli tanks. So the addition of the Israeli tanks. Everything else, there isn't much else to say about the patch. We had some minor things, for example, the addition for the target designation for the Kiwis, right? The control axis of the Raiders. That was really good, and it made the Raiders so much more enjoyable and more realistic in game. So yeah, a very good patch actually to be the first one. We got a lot of top tier aircraft and a lot of aircraft that were needed, some tanks that were needed as well. I think overall it's a very good patch, and I would give a rate of 9 out of 10, 9.0 out of 10. It's a very good patch. It had its problems, I know. The A10 especially was a problematic thing, and it is a big one, like that. It was problematic. But the addition of the MiG-23 together with the J8, the F-104S ASA and the Mirage F1 just made it for more balance and just a good patch overall for everybody, right? And the addition of the radar queues, it was just a very good patch in my opinion. The addition of APSs, so it was a very interesting one, and the addition of new maps, and yeah, it was very good. I think it's one of the best patches of the year. It was the first one. Then we go for the Danger Zone one, one of the most awaited ones because of the F-14. Obviously, the F-14A was added in this patch. I like this patch because they added the LIM 5P, which was the MiG-17, long awaited by myself aircraft. But everything else, it was just lacking a little bit. The Su-17M4, very good aircraft, but MiG-27s are still better. in my opinion, forecasts. Some Jaguars got the cockpits updated. Some premium packs, a lot of premium packs were added. The F5E was added for China. So a lot of new additions that were not that much needed as the patch before this one, but they were pretty good. The Mirage F1 CT and the Milan pack, which was a very bad aircraft. But yeah, the addition of Israeli helicopters. So it was overall a good patch. It was not a bad patch, right? I think the F14 was the main thing about this patch, right? Obviously, some changes in radars and stuff. Of course, it was, I mean, fun to have, especially with the TWS being added due to the F14. Some other aircraft received new missiles, like the EJ Kai received the AIM-7F, and other aircraft received the AGM-65s and stuff. So it was a good patch. It was not a bad patch. I think just that at first the F14 was kind of OP. The MLDs were not the number. I mean, this is a recurrent problem with War Thunder, that normally we don't have that many counters to the Americans in numbers. We only have not that many people that fly red planes. So we kind of have a problem of balancing when something is added without a counter, right? I still think that it was the perfect update to add something like the MiG-25 or something like that. I don't know, it's just my opinion, but still, I think it was a good patch. The F14 brought a little bit of an imbalance, but overall it wasn't anything extraordinary beyond the F14. But it was a good patch. I think it was a fairly good patch, right? So yeah, my note, my score for this patch was 7.5 in my opinion. So it was all right, nothing too crazy, nothing too bad. Then we go for the drone age update. So yeah, the September update, it brought, of course, the Su-25. It was the main aircraft, the Harrier GR7, the MiG-23BN, the Mirage 2000C. I mean, it was the main thing about these patches, right? These aircraft. This whole year was a lot of aircraft being added, right? So yeah, Chinese helicopters. So yeah, it was a very, very good patch. I think it was better than the last one. I think the main thing about this patch is, of course, the Mirage 2000C brought a little bit more balance to France, which was needing, and the Harrier GR7, which also was bringing a little bit more balance as well, because they need it as well, and they still need something more like the Tornado ADV that is probably coming out soon enough. And yeah, but there was some bad problems as well. For example, the Su-25, even though it was one of my favorite aircraft added during this year, probably after the MiG-29 only, the problem was the balancing again. The balancing was really, really bad here just because of the BR compression again. So if they actually fixed the BR compression on the Su-25 and the A-10, everything, these patches would be way higher in my opinion, but still, it was a big problem, and it's a problem that we still face it today. So I just want to reiterate how I think we need better BRs for those two aircraft, right? If I'm not mistaken, we got some other things like, for example, buffs in the missiles and the CW missiles for especially the semi-active missiles, and yeah, some other minor things like that that helped the game will be a little bit more refined as well. I think it was this patch that we got the extinguishers, but it doesn't matter too much. It was a very good patch, but I think it had its problems. I was very excited about the Su-25, but it wasn't like too amazing as well, so I would put it at 8.0. It was a very good patch. It was a good to great patch, right? It wasn't the most amazing thing ever, but it wasn't bad as well. But it was a bit better than the Danger Zone one, in my opinion. Then we go for the Fire and Ice, the most controversial patch of them all. Of course, almost nothing was added in the sense of top-tier aircraft. Basically, we only had the Q5L. Everything else was just copy-pasted, especially the Finnish Tech 3, Sub 3 on the Swedish with the MiG-21Bs and stuff. I think there was some couple of things that were very good in this patch. For example, the M1A2 SAP, I think it was needed. I think the Thor M1 was needed for China. You know, Sweden in general getting more stuff, I think it's great, even if it's Finnish. I think it's amazing. So these were the great things that the patch had, but we didn't have anything else. We didn't have any top tier aircraft, exactly right. But I understand why. I understand that they were holding stuff for the last year's the last patch of the year, right? So I understand why they did that. So I wouldn't go too far to say it's the worst patch ever, but it wasn't too exciting, to be honest. It was very easy. Even to make videos, it was like around 1 week later, and we didn't have anything else to cover doing videos. So it was a very, very small patch even. And yeah, it's fine. It's not, for me, it was an alright patch. As I said, it had some goods. But it was some things were missing. Just I think, yeah, maybe they could have, I don't know, they could have done something differently, but they didn't. So it kind of doesn't matter. So I just think that it wasn't the most exciting patch ever. I think it's still good that we got more stuff for Sweden. Q5L was needed. I think the T2 early was needed. M1A2 SEP was needed. The Thor M1 was needed. So I think it was just an alright patch. I don't think it was that bad as people say. I know a lot of people hate this patch, but it is more due to the expectations that people think that every patch is going to have extraordinary things, and that's just not true. So in my opinion, it is a 5.0. I would put it in 4.0 or even less, but I understand that they were holding stuff out for the last patch of the year. So with that in mind, I would put it in the middle ground between a great patch and not so good patch, and a bad patch, I mean. So I would put it in 5.0. I think it's fair, you know. As I said, not that bad. It has some goods, but there is a lot of bads as well, in the sense of just expectations, you know. A lot of people were expecting too much, and it wasn't very rewarding to actually play this patch. But still, it was fun, and I think it was... I mean, I had fun with MiG-21, for example, and stuff. And then we had the last patch of the year, the Apex Predator, the last patch that we had last week, I think, or the week before, I don't remember. I think it was last week, right? The latest patch that brought the MiG-29, they brought the F-16, A6A Tornadoes. I mean, there's so many aircraft here. The Sea Harrier, finally. So many F-16s, more premium aircraft, the new Mirage 2000, new Draken, finally, even if it's premium. A lot of things in the tanks that were needed, like the Gepard 1A2, it was very much needed. The Strela 10, it was very much a needed thing. The new top tier tank for China as well, always good to have one. A new tank for Sweden, the T-55M. So very, very good, a lot of new additions. And especially, of course, I have to say that some of this stuff were not, I mean, they're being worked on, as you see, for example, the MiG-29, the F-16, they are being worked on. They still are kind of work in progress, right? So give the guys a break as well, because I think there's so much content in this patch that it's just amazing. We have the confirmation that anti-ship missiles are coming, anti-radiation missiles are coming in the future. We had the confirmation of external fuel tanks being added. There's so many things being added, some things that I really wanted for a long time, and also a lot of balance. I know a lot of people are complaining about the balance, and I think they are working on it, but still, I think it was one of the best patches just due to the everybody having something. I wish every patch was like that. I know it's impossible, but still. The US got 2 F-16s. The Germans got the Tornado, even though I know you wanted the MiG-29, it's coming, but still, the Tornado IDS is there. USSR, MiG-29. The Great Britain, of course, the Tornado GR1. Should have been the ADV, maybe, I don't know, but still, it's a Tornado. Sorry, Japan with the new missiles for DJ Kai, especially not having anything else to be added for top tier, but at least they got a premium pack. China receiving the F-16, Italy receiving the F-16 and the Tornado, the French getting the new Mirage 2000, the Sweden getting a new Draken and a new Vegan, the Israelis getting F-16, so everybody got something. And new mechanics and stuff, it was just, for me, the best patch of the year. I can already say it. It is the best patch of the year. It is the most, technically the most balanced one, if you compare to the other ones that I told you guys about the E10, about the E14 and others. But of course, it's introducing the new rank, so of course there are some things that need to be worked. But still, I think they need to try to do this more often if they can. I mean, I know it's hard, but adding more stuff together like this means that we will get more patches like Fire and Ice, which was pretty lame for most people. But we will get at once more balanced stuff like this. So I don't know, it was just a very good patch in my opinion. Has some work to do, that's why it doesn't get a 10.0. For me, it gets a 9.5 rate. Okay, it was better than all the other ones. I think introduced a new rank, just amazing. New aircraft that we always wanted, the F-16, the MiG-29, the Tornado. We've always wanted to fly those aircraft, so yeah, very, very cool. But yeah, guys, so yeah, Winds of Change 9.0, Danger Zone 7.5, Drone Age 8.0, Fire and Ice 5.0, and Apex Predator 9.5. Let me know in the comments what you think about my rating, and yeah, guys, I see you guys on the next one, and bye, guys, see you.